So cute, so cute.
So why visit Zion National Park in February? My top 3 reasons are: there are fewer people, it's cooler, which makes hiking much more comfortable when you're going up those hills, and the shuttle buses aren't running, which means you get to use your car and you can come and go to the trailheads on your own schedule. After a couple days in Las Vegas, we got in the car and drove out to the Desert Pearl Inn. We picked that location because it had good reviews on TripAdvisor. It was close to the front gate. It came with a kitchenette so we could make our own food if we wanted to. The scenery was awesome. They had a laundromat on site. They had a hot tub. Overall, it's a good choice. The first morning we hit the road a little bit after 7 a.m. because we were on East Coast time and we wanted to beat the crowds. We went to the Canyon Overlook Trail. And if you look at this map, it's the pink road with a bunch of switchbacks. It seemed pretty straightforward. I wasn't exactly sure what would happen going through the gate. We got there before anyone was at the gate, so it was a little confusing, but turns out that if you get there before anyone's at the gate, you're on the honor system and you should pay your fee at your first opportunity. Because I'm a veteran, I have a special indicator on my driver's license, which lets me into any national park for free, and me and whoever's in my vehicle with me. So if you're a veteran, then maybe you should look into getting that. You just go down to your DMV with your DD-214 form and they'll hook you up. Anyway, I drove down this road thinking it was straightforward. I was so fixated on the pink road when I looked at the map that I didn't notice there's a yellow road running north, and I went on that road by mistake. And once I realized there's no switchbacks, we stopped, regrouped, figured out the right way to go, and set along the correct path. After going through the switchbacks and going through the long tunnel, the trailhead is right there. It's like as soon as you come out of the tunnel, that's where the trailhead is. There's a parking spot there, but as you can see, there's only a few parking spaces. So even though we were there first thing in the morning and it's off season, we still didn't get a parking spot. We had to go up the road, park somewhere safe, and walk back. Here I am on my first trail in Zion, and you learn pretty quick that, yep, there are drop-offs and you could fall to your death with one misstep. But believe it or not, you get used to it. And by the end of the second day, we were just moving down the trail easily without concern. Along this trail, like any trail, there's fantastic photo opportunities. Here's a couple. And when you get to the end of the trail, this is what it looks like. So I'll stop talking and let you just enjoy the view. After the Canyon Overlook Trail, we headed over to the Kayenta Trail. And looking at this map here, remember that road I took the wrong turn on at the beginning of this video? Well, you drive up that road, you drive north, and all the trailheads are well marked. So I parked at the Zion Lodge, and then we walked up to the grotto. I parked at the Zion Lodge because it was the first parking I saw. Then I realized there's a parking spot up at the parking lot up at the grotto, so I went back for my car because all the cars at Zion Lodge had these tags saying, you know, these are people who are staying at the lodge. I didn't want to get towed or ticketed or something, so I drove up to the grotto where the police said it was full and you had to turn back, and I said, but there's tags on the cars. They said, we don't look at the tags. So long story short, I parked at the Zion Lodge and we walked the grotto trail up to the Kayenta Trail. Here we are at the beginning of the trail, and if you say, Tom, it cannot look that amazing, I assure you that it does. In fact, it's even better in real life. From there, we went on to the upper, middle, and lower emerald pools. Here's a photo from along that hike. And here is some video that I took when I was at the upper pool.
You're getting us?
So we did those 2 trails on the first day, and we got back into town around 2 o'clock. And we went to a restaurant called Oscar's, which was really good. The service was good. They saw my daughter was stealing fries from the rest of us because her meal didn't get fries, and they just brought out another plate for her, which I thought was very nice. But the meal was $100 for 4 people, and that's with us just getting water, which I don't go out to eat much, but it seems like a lot of money. So then we went over to the grocery store in town called Soul Food, S-O-L, Food. And you can see from the prices here that it seemed a little steep. I don't know the logistics of bringing food into town, but $8.50 for orange juice and $5.50 for a 28-ounce thing of Gatorade seemed a little excessive. So if I were to do it again, I would stop on the at the Walmart Supercenter before coming into town and load up on all the food I needed for my stay in Zion. But that's all the complaining about money I'm going to do for this video, because we are on vacation, and vacations are expensive. But just be forewarned, it's not cheap to stay in Springdale. We got up the next morning and hiked the Riverside Walk. It's an easy 2.2 mile trail. You can see here on the map that it's just up the road from the Zion Lodge where we parked the other day. You remember that long-winded story. I call it a hike, but it's really more of a casual walk. You can see that the trail is flat and wide and well paved, but still very beautiful. We got distracted by some ducks going down the river. Here we are continuing along with our hike, and I turn around to see what sort of nonsense is going on behind me, and I realize that there's these fantastic views behind me. And so
That's beautiful behind
we stopped and took a whole bunch of pictures. And here's one of them, one of several, as you can imagine. So the trail ends at the Narrows. So when you hike, you might see a bunch of people and their waders. We got there early. We didn't really see very many people, but there's a few. I guess they rent waders in the town, and then they walk along the trail and start their hike down the Narrows. If you're wondering, how do I dress for Zion in September? Well, I knew that the weather was going to be sunny, so I didn't worry about getting wet, just worried about being warm. But I also knew I had to dress in layers. And since we're from Florida, we don't really have a whole lot of warm clothes, so let me break down what I wore. Just for context, it was about 35 degrees and a little breezy this morning. So I have a knit cap that my friend made. I have $35 waterproof Wolverine boots that I got at a garage sale. I have Costco fuzzy lined pants, Costco gloves, a t-shirt, a Costco thermal top underneath a kind of long sleeve cottony shirt underneath my Banana Republic zip-up jacket. So once again, we knew it wasn't going to rain, so we didn't have to worry about staying dry. We just had to have lots of layers. The next trail was the Watchman Trail, which I really enjoyed. It's uphill and it's kind of far, but the views are great. This is actually located at the visitor center, so you park at the visitor center and then just follow the signs. These steps are your first indication that this is going to be a long uphill climb. But as you can see, the views the whole time are fantastic, as all of Zion is. I often marvel at the drop-offs to your death, and I'm glad that I came pre-season before there were any crowds. Look at this view, though. So good I took a picture. And it was at this point I realized my camera could take 16:9. Here we are continuing to trudge. You can see that we're taking off the outer layers. Even though it's cool out, it's, we got kind of warm climbing up this hill. from here we can see where we came from. You can see we've been climbing for a while. You can also see that it's just spectacular. And when you get to the top, this is the view that you're rewarded with. You can hear my family talking about the emerald pools. That was still their favorite, even after this climb.
I also unironically liked that one, so that was a good warm-up.
Maddie, it's your chance.
So my favorite is the emerald bed.
After we came down from the Watchman trail, there was one trail left to do. This trail's also at the visitor center. It's long, but it's paved. It's a really easy, flat trail. It's great if you got little kids or a stroller. Lots of people were walking their dogs. You get the same great views. You have the same photo opportunities. You can get your selfies. After we finished this trail, we had done a total of 18 miles in 2 days, so we were done. We went back into town, ate at Oscar's again because, you know, like I said, they have great fries. And then I think we just laid in bed and watched silly movies for the rest of the day before packing up and heading back to Las Vegas. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And thanks for watching.